we before you listen to the podcast, we need help on this one. So I expect comments, concerns. I expect things to help us understand what happens. So
I know what you're talking about, Ryan. I just fell asleep and the movie was over. I think I fell asleep and maybe I just dreamed the movie. I think it was a dream that I saw, and I just I can't make heads or tails of it. So maybe you're gonna have to. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Maybe we
That can't
both
have
went
been the
on
movie.
maybe we both went on like a bad trip or something. It was crazy. But anyways, of course, before we get too far into the movie, let's talk about beer. So I'll go ahead and go. I'm doing, of course, the Great Notion double stack. I know I talked about it in the last episode. So it is 11 ABV. So it's a good beer to have on an empty stomach.
All of the ABV.
It's pretty much their breakfast style, aged in coffee beans and extreme maple syrup flavors. Oh my gosh. It has an average rating of 4.37. So I guess I'll show you the can too.
Oh, he looks so happy.
Yeah.
Sasquatch.
And of course, I already opened it because I always do that before there. And it looks like motor oil. It's so dark.
You know it's a good one.
Yeah. As soon as you open it, too, the maple just hits you right in the nose.
Nice.
But what you got for us today, Anthony?
So today I decided to go to the local brewery, that being Martin House. They always got something interesting going on at Martin House.
They always got something.
But I went with their IPA. I went with an Imperial Double IPA, and I'll show the can here because I got it because of the art. Because the art is just like awesome. So this is called Bee's Knees. It is a double Imperial Double IPA made with orange blossom honey, made with real bees. And doesn't this lady just looks like something out of this movie, doesn't she?
Yeah, she really does.
Yeah, she's one of the prisoners of the Ghostland.
Yeah. So of course, I know we always mention it, but you can watch the video of me and Anthony on Twitch and YouTube and the Facebooks. Just look up "Let's Do a Podcast." Go ahead.
All right, you ready for that beautiful bean footage there?
Yeah. I think that was the best one yet, or at least for the audio. So, but yeah, on Twitch, we are Let's Twitch a Pod, Facebook, Let's Do a Podcast, and YouTube is Let's Do a Podcast. Only because Let's Do a Podcast was taken on Twitch. How annoying is that?
What? We got on everything else.
I know, I got everything else except for that, but.
Poor job pouring. What did I do? Yeah, it's the glass. It's because I put it in its own glass, so.
Oh, yeah, how dare you?
Yeah, I didn't mix and match.
So I'll go ahead and
I'll wait
talk
a second
a little
on that.
bit. Huh?
I'll wait a second on that then, I guess.
Oh, yeah. So I've taken a few sips of mine already. Well, let me tell you, wowzers again. Apparently I'm a really old man. I'm saying wowzers a lot. But this is so good. So, of course, I have to compare this to Return of the Stack from False Idol. Because whenever I looked up this beer versus that one, it seemed pretty similar. So I was very excited. I still think Return of the Stack, I think, is still my favorite though. But this one's really, really, really good. It's really sweet too.
Nice.
Not like you get the coffee, but it's not very heavy. It's like a little bit of the coffee and a lot of maple syrup. So I like it so far. Of course, we'll see how it is at the end of the episode. I might love it so much.
How much you're feeling it.
Yeah. But it is very smooth, especially for 11%. And yeah, it could go down too easily.
Oh, damn, that's pretty good. Tastes like real honey, too.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Real fruit flavor. But yeah, I'm digging this so far. So we'll see how it goes.
It's always exciting whenever the first sips, you're like, yes,
Yeah. Oh,
and you just know.
Digging it.
Yeah, you just know at the end of the episode you're gonna be like, it's still great. But so of course we'll hit more on it at the end. If we remember, we've been good so far. We remembered, I think, every single time.
Yeah.
Which is rare for us. Usually, especially whenever we take a break, we usually struggle to remember to do anything.
Had enough beer. I just don't remember anything that happens at the end of this podcast. So
Yeah. So, Anthony, do you have beer news for us?
So beer events happening in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So it is the week we're slowly, inexorably marching towards St. Patrick's Day, everybody's favorite beer holiday. But getting into this weekend, the 11th of March, we got the Martin House Beer Run happening on Saturday, March 11th, 10 a.m. You can go to their website. You can go to beerandbigd.com as always for details. They have a link there for more information. They're gonna have a petting zoo. So I feel like every time I go to Martin House, they have some kind of petting zoo going on. Like I went one time and they had a bunch of turtles just like roaming around. And that's where I got like one of my favorite shirts ever is drink beer and save turtles. So, but the other things going on. The Sunday barbecue brunch also at Martin House on Sunday, and Flying Saucer. If you like going to the Flying Saucer in downtown Fort Worth, they have a release party for their Goddess Hazy IPA from Lakewood Brewing, benefiting the Pink Boots Society. Going up further, we got Community is having their St. Patrick's Day weekend, March 17th through 19th. That's gonna be great, particularly with it warming up. You can actually sit out in their outdoor area. Man, I love their outdoor area. This is like the perfect time for it because we have that short window where it's going to be not too cold and not too hot. So just go out there and celebrate St. Patrick's Day outside. We also have St. Patrick's Day celebration at Shanning Brewing Company, Three Nations Brewing Company, 5th anniversary party on the 18th at Turning Point. I need to go check that out. We have 10th anniversary party at Martin House on March 25th. And then we start getting into April. We have Burgers, Brews, and Brews at Clear Fork, down in Clear Fork. And then we have the Big Texas Beer Fest at April 15th on tax day. So do your taxes and go down to Big Texas Beer Fest. You probably should go ahead and get your tickets if you haven't already. They're usually in short supply. I've always heard getting the VIP tickets is great. If they haven't sold out already, go check it out. But yeah, a lot of events coming up. It's a lot of things picking up. Oh, and you can sign me up. I will be there. Hops and Props, April 29th. It was awesome last year. It's going to be awesome this year. A lot of different breweries showing up and a lot of airplanes. If you want to hear someone drone on about aircraft, and that person is me while drinking beer, come find me and I will talk your ear off about airplanes for as long as you can tolerate. So come check it out down there too. Hops and Props down at I think it's down at Meacham Airfield.
Yeah, everybody. I'm looking forward to doing St. Patrick's Day up here because we'll actually be able to go outside because you never know with Texas. It might already be on the hotter side, or it might be still cold, which is more rare. But so yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it is like around here. We're definitely gonna go out for it. I have still slacked, and I'm like the absolute worst. Still haven't found a good website for all the Oregon events, but some random things that I found out. So, have you ever heard of McMenamins?
Not many have.
They have tons and tons of breweries all over, like pretty much from Oregon to Seattle and like just pretty much Washington. So these two states mainly. And it's just like tons and tons of them. Like they have their own hotels and just it's actually really nuts. Anyways, so they do this thing where you can get an actual pass. It looks just like a normal passport, like the book and everything. And whenever you go to each location, they stamp it. And whenever you like fill out one book worth of stamps for, their certain brewery locations, is like that. Like you get free stuff out of it.
Nice.
And Yeah, so we have 2 in town. There's a ton in Portland. There's a ton leading up to Seattle and through Seattle and past Seattle. So we decided we both got a little passport books, and we were like, oh, this could be a fun adventure. They have, I think, 2 on the coast, and yeah, so something kind of fun. So if you're in the Oregon, Washington area, go to a McMenamins, talk to them about their passport, and I would suggest doing it because seems fun.
If you're in the Oregon area, and it's like, come out to the coast, have a few laughs.
Yeah, but and they do like special stamps for like special events, and of course, one of them over here is doing one for St. Patrick's Day. So we're like, well, we'll have to go over here and get a special stamp. So I mean, brewery wise, that's pretty much the newest thing that we found out that we had to do.
And that's the news from Ryan's new website, Beer in the Big O.
Yeah, you can look that up. I doubt there's anything there.
You gotta get the website. You gotta get the website for that.
Yeah, then
and just link it to Beer in Big D.
Yeah,
and then just tell me he has to do Oregon events too.
I almost want to look it up now, but I'm almost afraid to look it up because you don't. Yeah, you don't really know what's going to come up. So
yeah.
All right. Well, I guess let's move on to the movie.
The film. This premiered at the Sundance Film Festival, so this is a film.
Ah, yes, the film.
Film made by auteurs. My God, this is like Crazyville. So we've seen some crazy Nick Cage movies in our day.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing this now for what, 4 years now? 3 years, 4 years? I can't remember anymore. We've seen a lot of Nick Cage movies.
Yeah, I think we're on our fourth. I don't know.
It's got to be 4th year, I think. Maybe. You tell us. I don't know. But so we've been doing this X number of years. And I got to say, this is probably, we've seen some bonkers Nicolas Cage movies. And this is, if not the top, it's like in the top like 2 of craziness.
Yeah.
He goes full on Nick Cage in this movie. And I'm there for it when it happens. But I'm not there for it when other things happen. I'm just like, he goes full on Nick Cage and it's great. But like, man, I got things to say about this movie. At least the things that I remember about this movie. So
yeah. All right. So we'll do the little synopsis. Tell us what the movie's about, and then we'll get talking.
Prisoners in the Ghostland, set in the treacherous frontier city of Samurai Town, which I don't think is the name of the town in the movie. I think it starts with a B. Beaufort.
I don't really know.
Takes place either.
I only heard him say it at the end, so
it was on the name of the bank. But anyways, where a ruthless bank robber is sprung from jail by a wealthy warlord, the Governor, not from The Walking Dead. It's just a rando guy in a white suit, whose adopted granddaughter Bernice has gone missing. The Governor offers the prisoner his freedom in exchange for retrieving the runaway. Strapped into a leather suit that will self-destruct within 3 days, the bandit sets off on a journey to find the young woman and his own path to redemption. Other thing on here says, the far shorter synopsis says, a notorious criminal must break an evil curse in order to rescue an abducted girl who has mysteriously disappeared. So this also adds there's a mysterious curse, which I didn't really get that there was a curse until like it got to a point there was like, oh, he's gotten rid of this curse.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there was a curse actually.
I mean,
it wasn't super clear.
I feel like there's too much happening, so you don't really know what's going on. Yeah, so I guess those are the synopsis, so now we can actually talk about it. There's too much going on to the point where you have no clue what's happening.
Yeah.
Like truly, like I feel like in every scene there's just so much and it's so confusing.
And it's like there's like seemingly random shit that just happens, and then it's like, nah, we're not gonna stick with that.
Yeah. There's so many like things that they do that ultimately are unnecessary for us to even see.
Right. Like, there's the whole thing where they go through the whole sequence where Nicolas Cage's character, who doesn't have a name, I think he's just referred to as the hero. He gets released from jail. He's in his Jesus underwear, like wearing like the loincloth or whatever. And he gets released. He gets put in his leather suit. The thing that caught my attention about this movie and brought it to my attention so we could watch it was that this movie has him in a leather suit where there is bombs on his arms, bombs on his neck, and bombs on his testicles, as the governor would put it. And I knew that at least 2 of the bombs exploded during the course of the movie, because I did see, I did have some spoilers prior to this, not very many, but I did see that some of the bombs do in fact go off, and at least one of them was one of his testicles, which that did not disappoint. That reaction seemed realistic.
Yeah.
But there's a bit where when they're getting him set up to go rescue Bernice. And so they got the governor, you got Yasujiro, the governor's bodyguard, samurai sword wielding or katana wielding guy who just kills randomly, I feel like.
Yeah, because he's killing his own people, and you're like,
yeah, it's not entirely clear like what is going on with that.
No,
it's like, do they not respect the governor enough not to kill the guy he's like trying to set up to save his granddaughter? Anyways. Which I understand why they don't like Nick Cage, because he did. They blame him for some kid dying when he was trying to just give him bubblegum or something, I guess. Maybe.
Sure.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
But I'm losing the thread here. But what happens if they give him a car so he can drive out to the Ghostland to go rescue Bernice? He hops in the car, drives it maybe like 100 feet down the road, hops out of the car, takes a bicycle and like a small bicycle, and then just rides it out of town. And now it's like, that's like one of those things like, oh, maybe he doesn't want them to track him or something, or maybe he's just like trying to do it his own way. But then cut to hero Nicolas Cage riding the tiny little bicycle out of town. And Yasujiro rolls up in the car, and he's like, huh, okay. And he hops in the car and just rides it the rest of the way. And that's the whole sequence when he leaves town.
And no, I wondered if I missed something, just because of it. Like, gets out of the car and takes the bike, and you're just kind of like, what did I miss? Like, why? It was never explained why he did what he did. People are like, "Oh, that's so cool," and like, "Wait, what's so cool?"
Oh, I agree, it's a baller move, but like, ultimately, it doesn't result in anything in the movie, because he's just like,
it doesn't matter.
I'll take the car, I guess.
Yeah, he ends up taking the car anyways. So random things, real quick. Nicolas Cage met his 5th wife during the filming of this movie.
Love is in the air at Samurai Town.
Yeah.
Is this the wife that he met? In the other movie we saw, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent? No, he said he met that fictional wife he met in Captain Corelli's Mandolin. That's right.
And then at the end, whenever Bernice is shooting the governor, she shoots him 7 times with a 6-shooter.
She's got one of those guns from the Predator, infinite ammo.
Yeah.
Yeah, she put the cheat on it.
She did a quick little cheat code.
Yeah.
Okay, so other things that are a little weird about this movie, it's apocalyptic ninja cowboy modern old-timey themed.
Cyberpunk also.
Yeah. It's just,
it's like
wild.
Blade Runner. It's like Blade Runner meets Good, Bad, and the Ugly meets like a samurai movie meets yeah.
Oh, zombies too. We get zombies in this too.
Meets George Romero meets you name it. It's like a mishmash of all these different genres. And it's just like I like where their head was at, But unfortunately, something that happened during the course of the movie. So the guy who made this movie, he's like a Japanese auteur director. He's made all these very artsy movies. There's one that I actually want to see where it's this like, I think it's called Hide and Seek, where it's about these schoolgirls. It seems very much like Battle Royale, where they have to play hide and seek, and there's like some mysterious forces killing all the Japanese schoolgirls. And it seems really interesting. The director who made this, he's like on this level, but the director apparently had a heart attack during the course of making this movie, and I think, I hate to say it, but that may have affected the outcome of this movie.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which it's a bummer. He recovered. He's fine now, but it's like your head's not going to be in it when your like health is like that severely affected. You know, I feel like that had to have an effect.
Maybe, I don't know, man. But yeah,
Sion Sono is the guy's name. Yeah,
man, it's like, where do you even go with this? But like, I liked the idea. Okay, so we're going on to the things that we like and dislike.
yes, yeah, we should go ahead and move forward and do that.
So yeah, so I really do like the artsy feel of this. I think it's very well shot of a movie. I liked the acting, but again, like I feel like there was it's another one of those movies that you see it and you think, man, there's a lot of potential here.
Yeah,
Like, because of how wild it is and how extreme that they are going one scene to another, I really did wonder. I was like, how are they going to actually bring it all together and make it a good end movie? And I don't think it really hit that. You know, I think there are all these extreme things and all these crazy wild things just to kind of have a normal feeling end of a movie.
yeah,
And it's like, if you're gonna go this crazy, I don't want a normal ending. Like, I want a crazy wild ending, you know. But it really felt like the ending of it was a normal samurai in a town slash, you know, this that kind of a feel. I don't know. I really felt like, on top of feeling like maybe I was on a crazy like trip just watching this movie, you're also, I don't know, you're let down at the end, in my opinion.
yeah, because like it's like it ramped up to the point where it's like Evil Dead slash Rudy, because you have him like you have him like, because he's lost the use of his hand because one of the bombs exploded on his arm, and so he's using like this, like, because his arm is all mangled up, he's using like this like sword arm thing to fight all the other samurais, and he's wearing a football helmet that he found in Ratman's junkyard that he just like found. And so it's like, it's got this like whole Evil Dead thing kind of reminding me of when he's like fighting with the chainsaw arm. But it's just, yeah, but it just kind of like peters out at the end.
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten to the whole thing with the whole perplexing thing with what was her name? Susie, the sister, adopted sister, Bernice.
Wasn't it like a cousin or something like that? I can't remember now.
Because I think, well, she was like, she must have been like off her rocker, like nuts, or if I don't know.
Yeah,
there's like an underlying implication of what's happening happening to Bernice and Susie with the governor. They never explicitly say that there's anything nefarious going on there, but it's very much implied that he's doing not great things with these girls. But they never. It's very much left to the context of the situation, because they obviously don't want to be there. Susie's like, again, very much like lost her mind. Like the whole grandfather clock song thing was just like so random,
and it was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But Yes, sorry. Going back to things that we like.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the acting. I do. I did enjoy even. It's like I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy how crazy and so like wild it was.
Yeah.
Um, I liked it in the sense of like I kept thinking, I can't wait to see where it's gonna go. Like, where is it gonna go? Where is it gonna go? All these wild people, just I enjoyed those parts, but I think what really just yeah, it just didn't quite work. So I guess I really liked the potential of the movie. I thought pretty much all the actors I thought did really, really good in this movie. I
Yeah.
mean, they had to be crazy people, and they sure as hell were. Um, and I thought it was shot. I thought it was shot great. Um, so yeah, those are my things that I liked about this movie. So what about you, Anthony?
Uh, thing I really liked about this movie was, again, even though they didn't have anything cohesive or sensical to do, I really liked all the characters in this movie were very interesting. The governor was an interesting villain. Yasujiro he seemed to have a very interesting backstory that we never got any like got to peer into at all, because he had the whole thing where his sister was one of the girls who was like in the clutches of the governor. So like it was very much built up like he was gonna like turn on the governor. And that's something I thought was gonna happen. So it's like his character was very much built up like that, and like I was ultimately disappointed by that. But the even like the deputies, they all just like in the way they looked and the way they acted, it's like just very interesting. I mean, they're just like playing as the lackeys, but they do such interesting things that the characterizations are so interesting, more so interesting than even like than Nick Cage's character. And Enoch over at the Ghostland area there, the guy who's like his whole spiel is he's the leader of the Ghostland people, and he like just reads them Heathcliff.
Books.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
reads them books. There's the whole thing where I was like trying to like piece it together, the whole thing with the clock. Where they're like trying to keep time from moving forward, and when it finally does, everything explodes. Because like they're like saying like we have to hold back time so it doesn't explode. They don't explicitly say. I think they do talk about the fact that there was like, I guess there was like nuclear explosion because like a train hit a prisoner transfer, which is the curse, part of the curse, anyways.
Yeah.
But they're holding back the clock to keep it from exploding again. So I was like, oh, well, that's just one of those nonsensical things that happens when people have been traumatized like that. But then, yeah. Anyways, I can get to my complaints about it later. All the characterizations for all the characters were great. All the characters were interesting. They just didn't have anything interesting to do, I guess, is my one concern. So I really liked all the characters.
Yeah. I agree with what you said of this. You wanted to know the story of so many people, not necessarily the main character, uh, but almost everybody else. Like I really wanted to get to know them more.
Right. Yeah, we learn about all the characters. We learn about plenty about Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they keep shoving it down your throat. I'm like, I want to know about all these other people. Like,
yeah. Yeah, we know all about Hero and Psycho. We got those guys down.
yeah, got them down.
And a little bit about Bernice.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, all right. What was something that you disliked?
I touched on this already. The characters didn't have anything good to do. The characters, it was just like they built up all this characterization. They built up all these interesting people, and then they just didn't give them anything. Like Ratman, like was so interesting. It like had the crazy voice thing going on. He had the whole interesting costume, and And they built him up as like the guy who was going to build these vehicles to kind of ferry everybody into town. But we never saw everybody go into town. We just saw Hero and Bernice go into town.
Yeah.
So the Ghostland, the people of the Ghostlands, they never like did some big rebellion to fight the governor. So that never really came to. They kept showing all these like fancy looking RVs and stuff, and it's like nothing ever came of that. Yasujiro was set up with the story of his sister being one of the concubines or what have you, and he ended up not betraying the governor like you would think he would. He ended up defending him and fighting Nick Cage until he ended up getting killed. But he also killed like a bunch of his own guys during the course of things as well. I don't know. I think he was just wanting to kill everybody at that point. Maybe, I don't know. I would love to see him be the one to kill the governor, though. Kill his own charge there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we just had all this interesting characterization build up, and then nothing came of the characterization, I feel like.
Yeah. Which is pretty much kind of my same thing of just, I know I've already said this. I'm just going to repeat it because it truly is just the thing that I just bugged me the most about this. Truly was the buildup and the craziness and so extremes, and then just having a basic ending. I was so disappointed. And I mean, there's other things I could complain about, but to me, I think that's it's almost like they hyped it up way too much for themselves. They're like,
yeah, we built it up so much. Yeah.
And so that's it. Like if from the beginning of the movie you're up here, and then at the end they're like, okay, let's wrap it up. Let's I don't know. It kind of felt like that. I'm just like,
yeah, it's like listening. Yeah, it's listening to it's like listening to dubstep, but the drop never comes.
Yeah, truly. Or it's like they had Nicolas Cage for a set amount of time and they were getting close. Like they're like, this is our last date. We got to just finish it all right now.
Yeah. It's like he's got to get back to hanging out with Pedro Pascal,
Yeah.
Which I was like, it's like he got to go full Nick Cage. Like the whole testicle exploding thing, that was full on 100% like Vampire Diaries Nick Cage. Like he was like freaking like screaming like a crazy person. Loved it to death. It was like so awesome. It's like ultimately like the plot just didn't carry it.
Yeah. And that's I think no matter what you do, like you have to make sure you have a good ending. No matter how much you build up anything else. It's like if you have a crappy ending, that's gonna ruin the whole movie. And I think that's the big thing that happened here for me.
Yeah, and it's like that's the one thing I feel like could have saved this movie is if the ending had tied all these different threads together, then it would be like, oh, I get it. And then it would have been like the end of the movie, everything comes together and it all makes sense. And we have the big explosion, governor's dead, and then they can have the ending that they already had where like they just kind of like are tired and like falling asleep on a bench out in the random part of town.
Yeah.
The ending didn't deliver on the promises of the movie. It was a bummer.
Yeah, it really was. It was definitely a bummer. All right. So our rating system, of course, we have changed it up. We are on Letterboxd. So check us out there at Let's Do a Podcast. And that's where we rate all of our movies now. So Anthony, from 1 to 5, how would you rate this movie?
I give this one a 2.5. It's like its execution of characters again was great. Characters were so interesting. It's just like the plot wasn't there to support them though. Like they had one half of the equation, the other half just wasn't there. They have like very fleshed out people and not fleshed out plot. So I was really bummed about that.
Yeah.
2.5 stars for me.
No, yeah, I'm actually really good with that score. I want to. It's like I want to give it more. I want to give it like 3.5 something like that. But
Yeah.
again, just because of how chaotic, of course, not a good ending. Just like I just feel like there's a lot of things to knock this down pegs. So yeah, I think 2.5 is a
Oh,
good rating.
it's rough when like the plot of Robot Jocks makes more sense than this movie. So
Right.
yeah.
And I mean, like we talked a little bit before we started the podcast, and he was just like, "It's gonna be rough. Like I don't remember." Blah blah blah. I was like, "Dude, I watched it last night, and I still don't know what happened."
I was like, it seems like if here's the thing. Here's the thing. So like we used to, one of the things we used to do is talk about is like if we recommend this movie, and like if you want a movie that like makes you wonder if you had an acid trip or if you just dreamed it all happened, like watch this, like pull this movie up like when you're really tired, and then just like try to watch as much as you can, and you'll be like, man, I had some wild ass dreams last night. Because that's what this movie's feel is. It's like a weird ass dream you had about a Nick Cage movie, and then like maybe 10 years from now you'd be like, man, was this a real thing that I dreamed, or is this something that was actually a film that Nick Cage was in? So
Yeah, and you know, I feel like the question that we get sometimes, or at least I have, is just like, well, is this one a good one to have on, like to watch with friends or like as a background? And I don't know about this one. You
maybe.
know, yeah, and it's hard because like I feel like if you do it as a background movie, you'll constantly be like, wait, let me rewind. What did I miss? And I guarantee
Right.
you didn't miss anything. It just something completely fucking random just happened. Um, or yeah, watching with friends, like it might be fun, but at the same time, you're just like, you're probably just gonna be asking each other, "Do you understand what just happened?" And the other person's like, "No, I was about to ask you." You know, so um, so yeah, I don't know with this one. Um, so if you watched this movie, I really want to know your thoughts. Did you love it? Were you confused like us? Like what's going on? Can you tell us what the movie's about?
Yeah.
We'll bring you on, and you can tell us. You can do this episode for us
Yeah.
again.
It's like we have point A, we have point B. I don't see the line between those two things. So
No, yeah, it's like,
yeah, they just
um,
never do they meet. Like I agree with like a lot of the discussion about this movie is how wild it is, and I agree this movie is fucking wild, but but it needs to stick the landing, and it just doesn't stick the landing.
no, I felt like it was close, but no.
Yeah,
Um,
it
all
was like
right,
most of the way there. It just needed to like tie it all together, and it just didn't do that.
all right. Hey, I think your camera's frozen.
I am so cold over here. I'm just like stuck in this one position. Unfortunately, I'm really good at ventriloquism. See, I'm having a hard time saying it because my mouth is stuck. But yeah, I just really like this pose though, so I'm just
Yeah,
gonna stay with it.
it looks great on you.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So we rated the movie. We're done with the movie. Let's talk about the beer. Uh, so Anthony, have you finished your beer?
No, I haven't finished my beer because it's like so big. I have so much beer to work through. I'm almost done though. That's really good
So
though.
big.
So big.
Um,
Yeah, they came out with these huge cans for some of these beers. I was between this one and I have another one called Warhorse that I haven't tried yet. That I may try. I may save it for another for our next Cage Fest episode. That's right. There is another Cage Fest episode bonus episode for you guys out there.
right.
Fortunately, hopefully at that point I'll be able to move again. But yeah, for this one, for Bees Knees from Martin House, man, go find it out there. I'm giving this one a 4.2.
Whoa.
It's good. It is good.
Like the fact that it's even over a 4 for you is wild.
And I'm digging this. It's like the orange blossom honey flavor there. It's just like I'm never a huge fan like the Blood and Honey Revolver Blood and Honey. I'm not a huge fan of it, but this Martin House has got a winner on their hands here. Bee's knees. I'm gonna go find me some more of this.
Awesome. Um, so I have the double stack from Great Notion. I am going to give this, I think, a solid 4.
Nice.
And I'm pretty sure their last beer that I had on here, I also gave a 4. Um, and really, whenever we went there and I got a few beers and the wife got a few beers, like they make really, really good stuff. So I'm really excited to find some more of their beers for to try. And yeah, this is such a good stout. It makes me happy because I really, really love, again, that return of the stout from False Idol. And I feel like this is a really good substitute. Um, I do stand behind that False Idols is better because I think I would give the False Idol one like a 4.5. I think I did
Yeah.
or something like that. Um, but I will gladly drink this one instead too. So there's the beers. Um, Anthony, what's your thing of the week?
My thing of the week. I had a thing of the week. My thing of the week is, man, I had it 2 seconds ago.
Oh
My
no.
thing, I know, this is the worst. My thing of the week is, hey, so I got to go check out. I'm terrible when it comes to like culture, but I got to go to the Dallas Museum of Art,
Mm.
and man, I'm not a art person. I'm not an aficionado. I don't know very much, but I didn't know there were such cool museums in the Dallas area, and I just went looking in like different areas I've lived in before, and checking out different like museums and different cultural institutions they have. And just my thing of the week is just like check out your cultural institutions in your area. Uh, like I lived in Wichita for a bit. They had like a really nice like art museum there, really nice science museum. Check out museums in the area. There's just like such cool stuff. Uh, dude, I saw a painting by like Salvador Dali and Pablo Picasso. It's like you don't get to see that stuff very often. And it's like I think it was like $15 to go check it out. It's like you can go. This is the stuff you can see in like when you're in like elementary school is like the last time I got like really good art education, I think, because
Mhm.
like I went to school for engineering. I'm not like focused on like the artistic side of things at all. But yeah, if you have like if you're like just like doing nothing and you're just hanging out, it's like go check out like Dallas Museum of Art. I think Fort Worth has an art museum as well. It's like check out your culture institutions in your area, patronize them. They could always use our donations, our money, and our patronage to go check them out. They just like hold a lot of our history and stuff too. So that's my thing of the week is just like checking that stuff out. Yeah, Dallas Museum of Art though, checked it out, loved it. It was freaking awesome. Got to see some pretty cool stuff. I'm not an artsy fartsy guy, but I really enjoyed some of the paintings. Some of them were really cool, and I did think where I got to sit in the bench and look at a piece of art, a la Ferris Bueller. And I actually thought it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. So that was my thing of the week.
I concur with that though. Like we've done the Dallas Museum of Art a few times, quite a few times actually. We did the Fort Worth Art Museum. That was really cool. We love museums around here. My wife, every time, especially if there's an aquarium, we always go to those. I know that's different, but I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, I mean,
Aquariums are
it's
awesome.
very much in the same family.
Yeah,
Although I hope you have better aquariums up in the Northwest there, because I feel like I will argue to my grave that Dallas does not have an aquarium. It has a terrarium,
exactly.
not an
It's not an
aquarium.
aquarium.
Yeah,
I don't know how they got away with calling that an aquarium, but
yeah. It's like it's all above water. There's nothing. There's not a lot below water there.
yeah. But I do agree. Like I love going and just being like, okay, I just want to take my time and look and read. We Wait, there's
Sorry, I
Anthony.
was trying to reset there. Yeah, that didn't
Okay.
work.
Oh man, I lost my train of thought now.
Sorry.
No, it's
Should have
fine.
warned you.
You could probably, maybe you can just unplug your, plug it back in, maybe.
I'm going to do some technical things here. Let's see what happens.
Just do things while I talk. But yes. So, anyways, I agree with that, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some of the stuff around here. So my thing of the week, is nature. So
Ooh.
yes. So, as a lot of y'all know, because I talk about it constantly, I live in Oregon. And let me tell you, just like not, the last couple of weeks or weekends, like we went out to the coast and we just sat there and just like enjoyed nature. Just sat there, listened to the waves, watched it, just looking over the water. And then we went to like up in the mountains we walked a trail and then kind of just went to a brewery. The brewery was beautiful. I should have uploaded the picture to show you guys, but the view was amazing. Just like overlooking just mountains, and you can see like rain on this side and it's like sunny on this side. It's mountains, and you can see vineyards and like hops, and it just, I could have sat there literally all day on top of, of course, drinking beer, but just the view itself. Like there's nothing I love more than a view and just enjoying the world that we live in, because it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So, whether you go hike or whether you drive somewhere, whatever you do, just I encourage highly to take some time and just enjoy the outside. And believe me, I know in Texas, there's only like maybe 2 months out of the whole year you can actually enjoy the thought of being outside. Um, but take that time. Don't take it for granted. And because even yes, Texas has some beautiful sights too. And I kind of miss some of them, but I'm enjoying the ones that we have around here. So that's pretty much it. It's just like take time, go outside, turn off your cell phone, or even like have your cell phone. You need to be able, somebody needs to reach you, but stay off your phone and just enjoy the world around you, because it's better than what it seems like. If you're stuck online, it seems like the world's pretty rough, but there's really good things out there too. You got to look for them. So,
You mean I shouldn't spend my entire day doom scrolling all the time?
no, please don't. I've done that too many times where I'm just like, oh my God, what a terrible place we live. And it's just like, well, it's because all the bad things get amplified. So,
Yeah. That's why I just watch nothing but Kerbal Space Program videos on YouTube. So that's the extent of my social media presence at this point. So
nice. Yeah, mine is watching. Okay, so another thing. It's a YouTuber, and he also streams on Twitch, but it's Kid Boga. I think I've talked about him before, but he calls scammers and like messes with them and like steals their information and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I'm just so obsessed with it. It's so funny. But anyways, yeah, I spend most of my time, like if I'm not busy at work, that's usually up on my like other screens or on my phone, just listening and laughing. But anyways, that's a whole nother thing. So all right, so let's see. What's our next movie, Anthony?
So I've been thinking about this one long and hard. That's what she said.
What she said.
And so Ryan gave me the responsibility of picking our bonus movie, our bonus CAGEFEST movie for the year. And I have two Nicolas Cage movies that are my favorite Nicolas Cage movies. and I kept going back and forth on which ones are my favorite. And I have determined our next one is Knowing.
I don't even know what that one is.
Yep. It's Knowing. Knowing. Saw that one in the movie theater back when it first came out. I'm looking forward to getting your thoughts on it, Ryan. So, Knowing.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've only seen this one twice though. So, but it's been one of my favorites. So
we will be doing our last CAGEFEST episode next week. I know you guys get a bonus week. Lucky you. Or maybe you hate it. Who knows? And then we will move on. We'll have a few breaks, but this year we are doing more like month related movies. So like we'll pick one more month to do like another either actor or type of movie. And of course in September we have back to school. And we have Thanksgiving or Halloween, Thanksgiving. So like we have the holiday ones. But yeah, we want to throw one, maybe two more theme type movies out there. So if you guys have any ideas, let us know. If we don't hear anything, we'll just come up with something on our own, like we usually do. So
yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing what our first movie outside of CAGEFEST will be, because we have not even talked about it. So we'll figure that out. Of course, we try to announce what the next movies are so you guys can either watch or not. I don't know. Some people are like, I want to know before so I can watch it. I'm like, are you sure? So
it's like you'll know when we know. Just not. We don't even give ourselves that much a lead time there. So
yeah, sometimes we text on Friday and we record on Sunday, so we got Saturday.
It's like planning, yay!
Yeah. But anyways, where all can they find us?
So you can find us on Twitch at Let's Twitch a Pod. What's Twitch a Pod?
Yep.
It's a good beer. You can find us on Facebook at Let's Do a Podcast. You can find us also on other places. I can't remember. Ryan, what other places can they find us on?
Okay, so we got Twitch, we got Facebook, we got YouTube.
Yeah, Let's Do a Podcast. Yes.
Yep. And then Letterbox, Let's Do a Podcast, Untapped at Let's Do a Podcast.
Yes.
I think that's it.
Yep, that's all of them.
Yep. And we need to start saying this too, because I've actually did research and apparently it actually helps. But wherever you guys listen to us, if it's through Apple Music or Google or whatever, please leave us a rating and a review. That really helps get the podcast out there even more, shine some more light. Listen, for the algorithm stuff, they want to see that we have listeners. And I know we do, because I get to see all the downloads. So if you guys will go leave either a star rating and or some sort of review, that would be awesome. Even if it's negative, we'll take it.
And or a review for Andor.
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. And I'm Ryan.
And I'm Anthony.
And let's end a podcast.
Peace.